What's going on out there? This is Larry coming to you again with the Blazin Sports Report. Yes, I got on the same clothes. I did this video on the same day as I did my NBA lockout report. Right now I'm going to talk about the NFL and the surprises that have been going on. I mean, here we just got through week 5. We got 2 undefeated teams left. One who we could expect to be there in the Green Bay Packers, and the other one no one's seen coming in the Detroit Lions. Are the Lions for real? I believe so. But there's one team out there that no one's really talking about who's been just as impressive as anybody else, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. At a 4-1 record, they're leading the NFC West, which is already a weak division since last year, people believe that. But you got a new coach in Jim Harbaugh out there who's really turning things around for this team. Got them playing great defense. The offense still isn't as good, but there's one thing I want to point out. One of the teams that everybody had their money on this coming into this year was the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles are 1-4 right now, and you can look at one stat, and that's their total defense. I look at my numbers right here. Eagles are 30th in run defense. Everybody says defense wins championships, and everybody says on the offense it starts with running the ball. If you can't stop the run, how are you going to be able to win a game? Now, the reason I bring up the Eagles and the 49ers is for the simple fact, you look at the 49ers are tied for 4th in rush defense. That tells you something right there. And I believe that even though you don't have to have a great offense, defense is the thing that keeps you in games. And the Eagles need to figure that out right now. And I feel that if the Eagles can't figure it out soon, they're going to be in real big trouble. Another team that has been out there that's really turned some heads has been the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have been playing great. I mean, you look at last year's top 2 MVP candidates in Tom Brady and Michael Vick. Both of them have played Buffalo, and both of them have threw 4 interceptions. That tells you something right there that the Buffalo Bills are for real. They're feisty, they're young, they're out there, they're grabbing it. Steve Johnson has emerged. Fred Jackson is continuing this surge from last year. Ryan Fitzpatrick finally gets it. And this team right here is heading to do big things. Now, another team that's out there on the slide that a lot of people didn't expect to be in this position this year happens to be the New York Jets. You look at the New York Jets, nobody's like saying that the Jets are who everybody thought they would be, but at the same time, everybody thought the Jets would be better than where they are right now. When I look at the New York Jets, what I see is a team who's very inconsistent. Last year, they ran the ball great. This year, their run game has been non-existent. Everybody wants to put the ball in Mark Sanchez's hand, but everybody knew Mark Sanchez was unproven. You're sure he's been in the league for what? I think this is his 3rd year, maybe his 4th year. I can't really remember right now. But if you really want to put your team in the hands of a quarterback who has yet to prove himself, sure, his completion rating has been good, but his quarterback rating has not. He hasn't been throwing touchdowns like he should, like most quarterbacks do in this league. He hasn't been managing the game as well. And when I look at a player like Mark Sanchez, there's a lot of things that needs to be looked at in terms of what he does. I'm not saying it's all Mark Sanchez's fault, but you got to look at things from another standpoint. One team that has seemed to find themselves a spark and a player that has been riding the bench that the fans have been clamoring for so long has been Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is finally getting his chance to play after this bye week, and he opens up against the Miami Dolphins, which shouldn't be that much of a challenge for him. But at the same time, this will be his first real test when you see that what he can do in terms of starting the game from the beginning to end and see how he manages the game. Because right after that, they go on to play the Detroit Lions, which will really show who Tim Tebow really is. Coming off a bye week, he can get some extra snaps in practice, learn the offense even more, see how much he can manage the game. I know he hasn't been that much of a game changer in terms of practice, but everybody knows on the field Tim Tebow can come out there and get the job done. That's pretty much it for my NFL report. I mean, Green Bay is where we thought they would be. Nobody saw the Lions starting out 5-0. I was always a believer if Matthew Stafford, if he was a healthy player. You got to remember, the Lions, they played people tough last year without Matthew Stafford. Now that they actually have their quarterback in place, it seems that the Lions are on their right path. Is it too early to say whether or not the Lions can capture the NFC? I believe it is a little too soon for that. But it wouldn't be surprised me if the way that these Lions are playing, you got Megatron out there, Calvin Johnson Jr., who's looking like he could be the MVP of the NFL so far. This could be a good year for the Detroit Lions. You got him, you got Javid Best, and then we can't even forget about that defensive front with Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh up front, and not to mention the rushing of Kyle Vanden Bosch and the great linebackers that they've added in Stephen Tulloch. I mean, these guys right here, they have something special building, and it wouldn't be surprising if they ended up progressing even further as the season goes on to be one of the elite teams for many years to come. Let's not forget, they're still a young team. There's still some lessons to be had. The Atlanta Falcons found that out last year when they met the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. But that's not a knock against these guys. I think these guys will be legit, and it wouldn't surprise me if in 2 years these guys could be in the Super Bowl. But that has been my NFL little report right here. This has been Larry Jenkins, Blazin Sports Report. Hit me up on Facebook.com/BlazinAce35, Twitter.com/Blaze187Ace. Hit me up, give me you guys' opinion. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.